Hey, back with another mini message for today. Hope you guys are enjoying our time in Genesis chapter 22. And today we're going to pick up with just verse 9. And I really like one of the very specific things that happens here that I think is really interesting. It says, when they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. So we know he was sent to Mount Moriah with Isaac, but it appears that it was even more specific. Now, we've talked a little bit previously about Mount Moriah. This is where Jerusalem is located. This is where the temple is located, the Temple Mount that we think about from Scripture, Solomon's temple, the temple during the time of Christ, the second temple that Herod, expanded that temple complex after it was rebuilt, after the Babylonians had attacked back in the Old Testament times. He goes to a specific place within that kind of mountain range right there. You hear it called Mount Moriah, or even sometimes referred to as the Mountains of Moriah. So that sparks my mind to thinking, where is he at? And see, I think that there's only two options, and for me, I like one better than the other. One is that he was on the actual Temple Mount itself, where the Holy of Holies was, and that was the spot. The other is that he was on Calvary, which is where Christ was crucified, which also was a part of what we would consider Mount Moriah. I like the second one. I like that the symbolism flows through this entire passage of the Father sacrificing his son, the son, as we'll see in a second, willingly laying his life down. And I like the symmetry of that he was also doing this in the same place that God the Father and God the Son, in the form of Jesus Christ, would do these things centuries and centuries later. So the second part of this that I find to be very interesting is Isaac's reaction. So Abraham builds an altar, okay? So he arranges the stones, he fixes it like he wants it, and then he puts the wood on it. Remember, Isaac was carrying the wood. Then he bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Okay, a couple of things happening here. Abraham was an older gentleman. Isaac was a young man. There's some debate about how old he was, but he definitely could have evaded his father, right? He could have got away from him. But he willingly let his father tie him up, bind him, and lay him on that altar over that wood. That is some submission right there. That's obedience. Because my question as just a normal person is, we're going to do what? You going to tie up who? Nah, you have to catch me. I mean, that's my normal natural reaction. But he doesn't do that. He willingly submits. This too gives us such a beautiful symbol of what was happening at the cross over in the New Testament. The Father went to sacrifice the Son, and the Son went willingly. Christ went willingly to the cross. Isaac willingly was obedient in allowing himself to be tied, bound up, and laid on that altar. Wow, how God started painting this picture from Genesis of what he would do for our salvation. Such a beautiful picture that we find in Scripture. And I hope you guys have a great day yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you back again tomorrow.